Hello and welcome to a look at a Roadrunner for the Commodore 64, a game that was released by US Gold. Now, I completely forgotten that this is an arcade conversion. I have done quite a few arcade conversion videos recently and I wasn't necessarily intending on doing any for some time in order to keep the videos varied, but Roadrunner, I mean, what more reason do you need to cover Roadrunner than Roadrunner? Let me digress for a moment. For those of you who may not be aware of what a Roadrunner is, you are losing out big time. It is an epic, legendary, hilariously funny cartoon series featuring a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, his eternal nemesis who's trying very, very hard in absurdly abstract ways to catch the bird. And of course the bird, because the bird is the hero, will usually win out. If the bird was caught, the series would probably end, so we can't have that. But of course the hilarity is based on Wile E. Coyote's failed attempts at catching the bird using all sorts of absurd and bizarre contraptions in the process. Cartoons that was made back in the time where it was perfectly okay to see two cartoon characters trying to blow each other up, run each other over lawnmowers, trucks, all sorts of things, because it was merely that, a cartoon. Back in the time where political correctness were two words that didn't belong in the same sentence. Yeah, the good old innocent time. The game manages to capture a lot of those absolutely glorious, hilarious moments from the cartoon. And it is definitely something to be appreciated because that is likely to try again. That's likely going to be the great enjoyment you get out of playing this game. As Roadrunner, you are trying to get through different levels, of which there are technically 4, because they loop, but when they loop they have a lot more obstacles and additions added to them, so while they are technically the same 4 levels, the variety added to those levels makes them feel like new levels in some sort of way. But while doing so you have to pick up bird seeds, because of course we all know that birds eat their body weight a certain amount of times per day, and by keeping yourself topped up you can keep going. If you look at the top middle of the screen, there's a bird seed meter. It is sometimes inaccurate. It will claim that you've missed out on bird seeds even though you haven't, but ignore that. If you miss out on 5 units of bird seeds, you will start feeling faint. And much to anyone's surprise, you are significantly easier to catch when you are not moving. So of course that is something you want to avoid happening. Add to the fact that you get bonus points for not missing a single unit of bird seeds is reason not to try and get them all. It is made significantly difficult, or more difficult obviously, by the fact that you have this coyote trying to actually catch you. And while the first 2 levels, I know I screwed up a bit from time to time, but ignore that, it's just me, are relatively simple. Once you get to level 3 and you have this branching path system, a Roadrunner can only use the roadways, but Wile E. Coyote does not have that restriction, and it can make the difficulty feel like it suddenly spikes, because of course until you know exactly where you're going, you will box yourself in and be caught quite easily, which can be extremely frustrating, and sometimes when you lose a life, the game for some bizarre reason puts you in a position where Wile E. Coyote will catch you within the first 3 frames of resumed gameplay, which is good fun. But something to be said is the team making this game introduced a shortcut system. So if you game over on a certain level, at the start of a level 1, you will find a shortcut that will take you back to the level you game over on. So any level that will keep you or have you stumped for a while will not continuously have you stumped, because you can go back to it, which is a nice touch. You get into these cannons, which is one of my absolute favorite moments of this game because it's hilarious. You can and you should jump these cannon shots, but not only can they hit you, but they can also hit Wally Coyote. The thing is, if you've been hit and he catches you, and then he gets hit, you get freed. So you get another chance to get free. This is actually quite hilarious, and enjoy this moment. I was laughing my face off when I went through this, because of course he's on his power skateboard right now. Not for long though. Okay, we are free. We are hit. He's hit. He's hit again. He's hit again. He's hit again. Yeah. It's just an absolute cartoon moment. That absolutely brilliant. Once we get through this, we get to level 4, where Wally Coyote will equip his helicopter jetpack thing and throw TNT at you. Unfortunately for you, it is a semi-homing TNT apparently. It is incredibly difficult to dodge and avoid being hit by, and can prove to be extremely frustrating. But again, because of the shortcut system, any pains this game may give you is not going to be that big of an issue. Of course, it resets your score because you start from the score of 0, so if score is your concern, then you may want to start mastering the game. As you can see, by the way, avoiding that TNT is surprisingly difficult. The game can be annoying, it can be obnoxious, but it is done in a clever way because of the shortcut system. It alleviates a lot of frustration that you may or may not have with this game. So, all that aside, I should probably talk some technical stuff, because that's important. I have never seen the arcade, so I don't have any reference. But I have the cartoons as reference, and obviously no one expects a Commodore 64 to be able to produce that level of cartoon graphics, not with one floppy disk at least. But the two main characters, Roadrunner and Wally Coyote, are easily recognizable, and the backgrounds and that stuff may be a bit simplistic, but you know what, it doesn't have to be advanced, because the main point of the graphics are the two main characters, and they are believable. The controls are smooth. By and large, you can sometimes get a bit stuck when trying to navigate around tight spots, but it is not necessarily a huge issue, so it's not something I would mark against the game. The sound effects are by and large very, very well made and well done and all that stuff, and even though it is done with a sound effect and not an actual dialogue sound kind of thing, Roadrunner of course is very, very famous for saying "meep meep" when he takes off and runs away from Wally, and that sound has been reproduced successfully, I would say, with a sound effect when you jump. And in that regard, when it comes to the music, of course on the Commodore 64 you have all the musical legends, Rob Hubbard, Galway, Walker, whatever they're called, but there is another music legend which, when it comes to tunes like this, is an absolute master. Fred Gray made the tunes for this and the sound effects for this game, and his mastery of these cutesy jingle tunes is absolutely epic. Yeah, I couldn't resist putting that text message in, by the way. The tunes, they feel cartoonish, as they should, and the soundscape is just, it's hard not to hum along with the tunes. musically, definitely a highlight. It captures the spirit of the cartoons incredibly well. By and large, I have to say that US Gold got slammed a lot like a bit like Ocean even, for releasing piles of crap after piles of crap. But they also released gems from time to time, and when it comes to pure gaming enjoyment, Roadrunner is definitely such a gem. And if you have access to it, give it a go. I think you'll like it. On that note, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye for now.